I'm not a revolutionary.
His calculations are correct. The Empire is dying.
Order will vanish. Wars will be endless.
Only we can shorten the darkness.
Issac Asimov was one of the most prolific science fiction writers of all time. His epic Foundation was too big to be made into a film or even a couple of them. It's now a series on Apple TV Plus, and you have to understand the scope of it to appreciate it.
That was very important to wrap your head around that. You need to understand the shape of the world that you exist in, and to get an idea of the power structures that exist in the various different places. It's important that you understand the world that you're trying to convince the audience that you exist in, because if it's confusing to me, then I won't be able to get it across to you. So you have to wrap your head around, no matter what you're doing. I mean, you could be doing a story about, you have to do the same thing if you're doing a story about in the ancient Greeks. You have to understand that they had a completely different way of looking at the world. When I studied Shakespeare, you had to understand how the Elizabethans saw the world. It was completely, just because we speak the same language doesn't mean that we actually perceive the world the same way. So you're kind of always having to do that no matter what story you're getting involved in.
I was wondering how you reacted to this mammoth virtual set, I guess it would be.
It was a world that I wanted to know more about, that I wanted to discover how the kind of movement of the big chess pieces. I wanted to know what happened next. I wanted to know how the sides lined up. It was, as you say, really brilliantly well realized, with a wonderful balance between that scale that I've mentioned, but also a real concern with the psychology of the characters, between their motivations, between the tensions between the private life and the public life. And excitement. That was kind of my main feeling.
And I was mostly intrigued as to how we were going to be able to travel through all these worlds and meet all these people and do it in such a way that it's all coherent and joined and makes sense. And I think that we succeeded, and I think it's really a wonderful show.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. It was lovely to meet you.
Pleasure.
Flicks with Patrick Stoner explores the craft and culture of filmmaking that enhance our communities for television stations and websites around the country.
I'm Patrick Stoner. Watch more interviews by subscribing to WHYY.